Hi everyone, my name is Adriana and welcome back to the Lunar Ascension channel. I am very excited about filming this video because I didn't have the chance to film it sooner. And yeah, I'm excited about sharing with you guys my experience with Mercury retrograde in the first house, as well as give you guys a little bit of an update on my life. As you can see, the background is looking a little bit different, and that's because I moved places. So yeah, you might be wondering, moving during Mercury retrograde? It was challenging to say the least, and meanwhile I was away in Miguel's, my fiance's, birth town, and so yeah, things were like complicated, challenging, but also fun and a good way to enjoy Mercury retrograding. So yeah, I want to share, well, not only my own reflections, some of the lessons I've learned during this period, but also some tips and some new practices that I'm now adding to my routine. Yeah, let's get into it. Well, first of all, Mercury was retrograding between Libra and Virgo, and those are my first and 12th houses. So it was all about tapping into my body and mind connection and challenging me to think about how I present myself to the world. What are my mental and psychological boundaries? Not fun, let me say, not fun at all. Libra is the sign of partnerships, and of course, as a Libra rising, partnerships are very important to me, but they cannot be more important than the relationship that I have with myself. So I had to tap into that subject and really spend time with my thoughts, evaluating that, and I was just reconsidering my decisions and, well, stop, knowing when to stop. So yeah, I have Saturn in Aries, so on the other side of this retrograde. And so yeah, this was felt very personal. And I just want to jump into that first lesson that I want to bring you guys. And I think this is something that you can experience as well if you have especially Mercury retrograding in your first house, knowing when to stop. I don't know when to stop. I feel like I'm only alive when I'm grinding. I think productivity for me can be something not so good. And the thing is, I have done some things that I'm very proud of in the last year, and I didn't stop to celebrate. I didn't. And although I can see that I don't have the right circumstances to do so because I have so many things going on in my life, I do have to celebrate my victories. I have to acknowledge them. And so Mercury put a pause on everything else. And this was a time where I had to really face the victories that I had. And that's not an easy thing. I have Chiron in the first house, so I don't pay attention to what I do. And so I had to during this period of time. And I got the chance to do that, especially by connecting with other people, with different people, and just listening to them, sharing my stories, my thoughts. Because during this period, these vacations, or this time that I went away with my fiance to his hometown, I had time to just talk to a bunch of different people from different backgrounds. And so that was a really nice exercise to see myself from the outside perspective. So ultimately, it was very healing for me. This was a time as well to just re-strategize what I was doing and think about the things that no longer serve me. So I don't think this is a time to throw things away, or not necessarily, but it is a good time to see what you're doing, what's working for you, and yeah, just, trim the things that are not working for you, or just, burning a lot of your time, consuming a lot of your time. So putting a pause on things is not, it doesn't mean that you stop moving. It means that you are improving the way that you're moving ahead. So, you see race cars, and when they're doing the laps, they have to stop to change the tires and see if everything is okay. I felt like I was in that cart, just waiting to go direct again and, go about my things. And oh my God, I have so many ideas. I want to do them. And I had the team on my ear, like, so this was the confusion that I was experiencing, because, I didn't want to stop. I didn't want to, change the tires. And we have to stop, and we have to, improve ourselves in order to continue the race with the best of our abilities. And so I learned to just relax amongst the chaos. So yeah, I there's no excuse for you to not relax. That's a priority. So don't give me excuses to not relax, or else you're gonna burn out. And you're not going to be as productive as you want to be. So to achieve that productivity that you want to have, healthy productivity, you have to relax, to smell the flowers. I don't care what you have to say, that you have a lot going on. I don't care if you have to, have as a practice a 15-minute nap during, this chaotic period in your life. You have to relax. So that was like a really big lesson. I think with retrograde planets, this is the overall message. Review, revisit, rethink, re-strategize. And I want to add, relax. Yeah, because things, they take their time, and I'm not I am patient to wait in line, but I'm not patient when it comes to my own projects. I'm a very fiery Taurus. So yeah, that was a really good lesson for me. The second lesson that I want to bring you, it's something regarding not only Libra energy, and I just want to ask you to think about this with me. So, yeah, I'm a Libra rising, and I do enjoy being in relationships, forming partnerships. I have Sun in the 8th house, so I'm all about that. Give me your best, I'll give you mine, and we can make something beautiful, right? But the shadow aspect of these things is, I know what you can do to improve yourself. No, I don't. What I know is my reality. I don't know yours. And so I had to face this truth that we cannot give people what they don't want to take from us. So I want to give you a general example so you can see this from a broad perspective. This is a lame one, but I don't care. I think it does the trick. So imagine that you have a friend that has a really old toothbrush and you notice that and you're like, oh my God, that's disgusting. Girl, you need a new toothbrush. And so you go ahead and buy a new toothbrush. And the person is like, yeah, I don't think I need a new one, but I'll take it. And so she takes the new toothbrush and she starts using it and she starts bleeding. She doesn't like the toothbrush and she puts that on the side and continues to use the old toothbrush. This is an awful example. I don't know why. Oh my God. So you presented that person with something that you know she needs, right? The thing is, that person didn't realize that she needed a new one. In fact, that new one was, causing her gums to bleed or whatever. So she's not gonna be grateful that you presented her with a new toothbrush. So how is that gonna make you feel? You're gonna feel that people are ungrateful. You're gonna feel that, no one values your efforts. I noticed that I was doing this, but in a very hidden way, maybe with my words, smaller actions. And so I was hurt. Not only to be shocked with this ungratefulness from others, they actually don't owe me anything, but also to see that I was in the wrong. That sucks. Mercury retrograde really punched me in the face. So I realized that I can still be a very giving person, but waiting for the opportunities to show this side of me when people ask for help. I don't have to force my help onto others. I can just say, I'm here if you need my help, if you need to talk, if you need a new toothbrush, whatever, I'm here. And that's enough. You don't need to give more. Because I have convinced myself that I can solve people's lives with, involving myself in them. Not in the psychology practice, but in my personal relationships, that tends to happen. Like, I know what to do, I know your skills, I know what we can do to see you thrive, whatever. And people sometimes thrive, but they don't feel like they owe it to me because they don't. And that's on me. So let's get into that third lesson, which is very connected to this one. And that is facing my immaturity. Facing my immaturity as well, it helped me in two ways. First of all, it helped me realize that I was like a kid wanting too much too quickly. And I was just not being considerate of myself. I was just, seeing the shiny thing, going for it and asking for it. Oh my God, I want the shiny thing. Right now. And the other thing was, this was very embarrassing, right? This was like, oh my God, how am I doing this? And I don't want to say that I was shameful of it, because I'm sharing with you, and I don't feel like this brings me shame. But it was a shock to see that I was still being immature. And I forget sometimes that I'm 25. I haven't gone through my first Saturn return, and I'm still learning. We're always learning. And I don't have to be so demanding with myself. And the other thing was immaturity, has its good sides. Because when you're immature, like naturally immature, you have space to ask, to experiment, to be curious, to be like a child. And I was not taking advantage of that, just exploring, experimenting, putting my hands on things, and I love to do that. So immaturity was a bittersweet, has a bittersweet taste, but ultimately, if you look for the bright side, it will help you see and experiment the things that you haven't yet experimented. So yeah, I just want to stop here with the lessons. I had a few more. Yeah, I had a few more. It was crazy. I mean, I was doing a lot during this period. But I also want to present you with some tips. So, first of all, with Mercury retrograde, you know what? It's a perfect time to look at your whole chart. So, if you know anything about astrology, or you like to see forecasts, like, every time there is a transit like this one, you hop on YouTube and look for Mercury retrograding in my third house, or whatever house Mercury is retrograding. What I want to challenge you is to take a look at the full picture. So what I've realized with this transit was that I was revisiting and revising, and of course this was my first house, right? So it was very I was very sensitive to the movement. I realized that there is a lot going on. First, worlds wide, we had Saturn retrograde, we had Pluto retrograde, Uranus retrograde, so a bunch of planets retrograding. Also, we have Pluto. Pluto is about to leave. So today is the 8th. Oh, Pluto has left the retrograde motion. So it was retrograding during this, and I know it's a longer transit, but Pluto is leaving Capricorn. Pluto is leaving Capricorn in March. So now I know this is a slow motion kind of thing, but still it holds some meaning. So what is happening in these areas of our lives, like our Saturn, our Pluto? What is happening to those planets? What is happening to these themes, to these houses? And also Mars. Mars has this crazy transit in Gemini. 7 months. This is not, look, if there was something to learn here with this Mercury retrograding, is just to stop and to really choose wisely where to put your energy, because it's insane. There's just a lot going on. And so save your energy to something that is really worth it, and learn how to save energy to take care of yourself. So this is the first tip that I want to give you. Whenever you have a Mercury retrograde, take a look at the full picture. Take a look at your chart. What things are triggering you? What aspects between the planets are triggering your life? This is a time where you can stop and just revise. The other tip is to, well, this is kind of entangled with some of the new practice I've been doing, which is journaling. I used to journal sometimes, but now I'm making that a daily practice. And you can invite these transits into your journaling. So I learned this from Sarah, my friend and colleague from 10 Astrology. And she has been such a great example for me. She's a 6'2" in human design. She's a role model. And so just by existing, I can learn a lot from her. And one of the things that I learned, well, first that I was not paying attention, or I was avoiding the message. And the second one was to do journaling with, paying attention to the daily transits. What is happening today? Where is the moon? What planets are conjuncting or opposite my natal planets? What reflections can I bring from this? And then I can add, and you can add normal journaling practice. So how do I feel? What have been my thoughts? The good ones and the bad ones. Just be honest with yourself and do this every day. It makes a change. For me, it's like doing my own therapy, and it's a therapeutic practice. But again, it has that, therapy effect. I used to see so many people saying journaling is such an important thing to do every day. This is how you can get in touch with yourself. But for me, this has been a practice that has helped me a lot to connect with my intuitiveness. And being intuitive is very much about connecting with your inner voice. And what better way than talking to yourself? If you are someone who wants to tap into psychic abilities, this is also a very good practice you can do. Another thing, and since I've noticed that I was, I still had a lot of immaturity and a very loud inner kid, I realized that I have to practice more gratitude. So I came up with this kind of strategy. So I saw a TikTok of someone, a witchy tip, giving a witchy tip was to, whenever your necklace is upside down, to put it in the right way and make a wish. And I was like, oh my God, this is such a great practice to do. But instead of making a wish, just say something that you're grateful for. And as a psychologist, I know that you can imprint some messages. So this is basic conditioning, right? If you do this enough times where you put your necklace the right way and you say, I'm grateful. Right now, I'm grateful that I have the time to record this video. So if you do that enough times, whenever you're just figuring out that your necklace is upside down and you go to put it in the right way, you're going to be reminded that you have to say thank you, or that you have to do that exercise of being grateful for something. So yeah, this has helped me a lot, to the point of crying. Like, I have so many things to say, to be grateful for, that the necklace can be on the upside every time, and I will have something to say thank you for. Oh my God, can't believe I was about to cry again. Oh my God. It's hard to be a Cancer moon. So these two practices have been very healing for me, and I want to give them to you as suggestions or as reminders, right? It doesn't have to be a necklace. It can be, you can attach that gratitude exercise with something that you do every day. So, oh, every day in the morning I drink a glass of water with lemon drops. Every time you do that, state what you're grateful for. Oh, I drink coffee every day. Or, I don't know, something. And attach that intention of being grateful for something. And, you'll see how many good things you have in life. It's a blessing. This practice was a blessing for me. All right, so these were the things that I wanted to share with you guys today. I'm very glad to be back. And I'm so thankful for the people that joined the channel. I always get super excited when I see that someone has subscribed. I get ecstatic. I get like, oh my God. And I want to celebrate you guys for doing that. I want to bring you more content. I don't want to make a commitment because I don't know how much time I'm gonna have, but still, I'm very excited about creating content, especially for YouTube. So I'm gonna trust divine timing and do it whenever I had the chance. So thank you so much for listening to me. Please share your experiences during this Mercury retrograde. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.